Well, good evening, my dears. So, how are you all? So, hope you are well and good. Don't spend much of your time in simply wasting it. Utilize it properly. And today we will deal with the next topic, that is third unit, third poem. Right? That is a beautiful poem written by William Shakespeare. This poem I read during my second year BA. The poem which I enjoyed a lot. Rather, we can say it as a poem which talks about our life. Right? Okay, fine. Let us move on to the poem. So, before going to the poem, we will read about the author's introduction. It is very important to know about an author, right? Reading his work, right? More than that, we should go for his work, his introduction, right? His background. Okay, fine. Right. If you have book, turn to page number 90. Right. If you have book, please turn to page number 90, and I'll just read the author's introduction. Right. Listen it carefully, my dears. So William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616. Right. 1564 to 1616 was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre. So he lived in two eras. One is the Elizabethan and the Jacobean ages. Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre, sometimes called the English Renaissance. Sometimes we call it as English Renaissance. So these two are called as English Renaissance. So Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only things he wrote. I think you get my point. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only things he wrote. Fine. Shakespeare's poems remain popular to this day. Yes, of course, right? Even from my childhood days to till now, right? His poems or his works are, right? We are continuing with this, and it is more popular nowadays. Not nowadays, right? Right from the beginning. Shakespeare's rich, diverse works have spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. So, if you see about this Shakespeare, right, father of lot of writers, right? If you see this one, his works are adapted from many genres. Genre means many other things, right? Many other languages, many other particular things. Okay, fine. So, his writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare. If you buy the book called The Complete Works of Shakespeare, in that book you can see all his works. So he didn't write only plays, right? Comedies, tragedies, comic tragedies. Not only this alone, right? But apart from this, he has written many poems as well as sonnets. 14 lines of thing we call it as sonnets. Very, very important one, right? Which include all his plays, sonnets and other poems. So if you buy this book called The Complete Works of William Shakespeare, you can find all his works as well as his plays, his poems and his sonnets. 154 sonnets, I suppose, right? So William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of the English language. So he has his own domain. He has his own place in the field of English literature. If you see, a lot of writers are there in language, especially in English, but he has his own name, right? He has his own place in the field of literature, right? Apart from this, William Shakespeare, John Milton, right? And many other scholars are there, many other writers, renowned writers are there. Okay, fine. So these are all the important things about William Shakespeare. First thing it is, they have given about his age, right? 1564 to 1616, and he belongs to, and he is one of the famous writer in the two ages. One is Jacobean as well as Elizabethan and Jacobean ages, right? And even today, his works are so popular. Fine. And if you want to read all his works, you can buy the book called The Complete Works of Shakespeare. In that, you can see all his plays, 37 plays, and poems as well as sonnets. 154 sonnets are there. Right? In the past 11th standard book, they have given the beautiful poem about love. Right? It was a beautiful poem, but they have took away from the curriculum. Right? Okay, my dears. Right? So let us move on to the A poem, right? All the world's a stage by William Shakespeare. You may have a doubt regarding spelling Shakespeare, right? So whenever you are reading a poem, it is compulsory, it is mandatory to read thoroughly the author's name, right? William Shakespeare, right? If you see in page number 88, they have given one as life cycle, right? Biology students, you can easily find out what is this. This is the life cycle of a butterfly. See, first one it is, we call it as the egg, first stage, and then the caterpillar, the larva stage as the second one, and then the pupa stage, and then it turns to the butterfly. So how a butterfly has its own life cycle, same way our human life has also, it has its own life cycle. So that is beautifully depicted in this poem As You Like It. So if you see a lot of writers, they will write the poem directly. But this poem, when you consider this all the words stage, it's a poem. It is an extract from the play you called As You Like It. The play called As You Like It. So he has written, Shakespeare has written 37 plays. And this As You Like It is one of the famous comedy, right? As You Like It. It's a good comedy. And if you see, is the best tragedy, right? The best known tragedy means Macbeth, right? And most, if you read that story, that will tempt you, right? That will makes an interesting. That play, it is called Othello, right? Which I love like anything. Othello, right? Okay, I come to the point, right? All the words stage, it's an extract from the poem. The play, it is called, right? As You Like It. Fine. See how the butterfly has its own life cycle. Same way, this William Shakespeare has written about his own, right? Our life cycle. How he beautifully depicts this one through a poem that we call as All the World's Stage. It's a beautiful quote. People used to use this quote in their speech, right? All the World's Stage. It is very useful, or it is very contemporary now. Okay, fine. Discuss with your partner the different stages of the growth of man from a newborn to an adult, right? The phrase All the World's Stage is the beginning of the monologue. What is the meaning of monologue? Monologue means, okay, now I'll tell you, make it very clear. Dialogue. Dialogue means what? Two persons. Then monologue means it is only one person. A person, only a single person speaks, right? It is a monologue from William Shakespeare's As You Like It play. So this is an extract from the play called As You Like It in Act 2 and Scene 7. What is it called? Act as well as the scene. If you see the plays, right? The stories have a lot of acts, as well as in every act it may have a lot of scenes. Act 1, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5. Then act 2, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Then act 3, scene 1, scene 2, scene 4, scene 5, right? So every act may have a lot of scenes. So in the As You Like It play, you can find this poem, if you can find this, the same extract in Act 2, Scene 7. That's what they have given. Scene 7, starting from line 138. So he compares the world to a stage and life to play, and catalogs that the 7 stages of man's life. Right? 7 stages of man's life. So if you see William Shakespeare, he has clearly depicted the human life. He compared our human life to a stage. Right? There are 7 stages in our life. It's a beautiful poem, ideas. So listen carefully the poem. You will enjoy this poem. Right? So this is one of the most Shakespeare's frequently quoted passage. And if you see a lot of persons, a lot of renowned scholars, they used to take lines from this poem when they give a speech in a public speech or wherever it is, right? They used to take, especially from this poem, this poetic lines. If you see in English literature, guys, they used to quote lines from this poem because it is very contemporary. That means it is very apt nowadays. Okay, fine. First, listen to the reading of the complete poem and then read silently. Get to know what Shakespeare says about the different stages in the man's life. You may refer to the glossary given at the end of the monologues to help you. So the back side, page number 90, right? Page number 90, they have given the glossaries. So if you have any doubt, you can refer to the glossary to get the correct meaning for this poem, right, my dears? Okay, fine. I just read the poem right from the beginning to the end. Just listen it, right? After that, we will see line by line. Okay, fine. I'll read out the poem. Listen. Page number 89. If you have book, turn to page number 89. It is given, right?
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being seven stages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the winning schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail, unwillingly to school, and then the lover, sighing like furnace with the awful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and beard like a part, jealous in honor, sudden quick in quarrel, seeking the public reputation, even in the cannon mouth, and then the justice in the fair round belly, with a good cap on line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful oars well saved a world too wide for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice, turning again toward the childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends in strange, eventful history, in second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans state, and sans everything. Right? So, how beautifully this man, William Shakespeare, he has clearly listed out the seven stages of man through this poem, right? All the words a stage. If you read this poetic lines from first to the end, you can easily extract what are the things he has spoken in this poem. He didn't use much difficult words, tough words, rather, few words you may can come across a little difficult to understand. But once you read, right, often if you read this one, you can get to the right exact meaning of this poem. Right? Now we will move on to the poem. Right? All the world's a stage. See, he started the first line itself. All the worlds is a stage. Right? You know the meaning for this one. Lot of a speaker I used to hear. They quote this line, exact line. What is the exact line? You know, all the worlds is a stage. All the life, right? The life which we are living, it is a stage. And all the men and women merely players. So he compared the life, right, to the stages. He compared the life to the stages in the world, right? So in the world, every men as well as every woman, right, they are players. In the world, all the human beings, especially men and yes, of course, men and women, right? So men and women are compared to the players or compared to the actors, right? And they are acting in the stage, right? Acting in the stage. That's what he has given. All the world's a stage. So all the men and women, they are the actors in the world. Where? In the stage. They have their exits and their entrances. So two things he has given. One word is exits and the entrances. What is the actual word or actual meaning for the exit and the entrances? The word entrances talks about the birth and exit talks about the death. Fine. So every man and woman, they have their birth, that means entrance. They have their death, that means their exit. So all the men and women, right, those who born in the world, they have two things. One is the birth as well as the death. So they meanwhile, right, between the death and the birth, meanwhile they have to act in the stage, right, in the world. Okay, fine. And one man in his time plays many parts. One man in his time. So a man who born in this world, during his lifetime, the time means his lifetime. During his lifetime, he has to play many parts. Many parts means what? Many characters or many stages. He has to enter or he has to act many stages. What are the stages? That's what he has clearly given. A man has to, right, act 7 stages. 7 stages are portrayed in this poem. What are the 7 stages? Right. The first stage, he starts with the first stage. What is the first stage? His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant. So what is the first stage according to William Shakespeare? After the entrance, after the birth, right? What is his first play, or what is his first act? That is infant. So his first age is infant age. What is the meaning of infant? Right? Newborn baby, right? We call it as simply birth. Newborn baby, small baby. So in the first stage, how he acts or how he behaves. So two things he has given. First thing it is mewling and puking. What is the meaning of mewling? Mewing. I think you may have a cat at your home, right? The weak noise that creates by a cat, meow, that is said to be mewling, right? And puking. What is the meaning of puking? Puking means it is vomiting, right? In the nurse's arm. So today it is World Nurse Day. World Nurses Day, right? So we are dealing with the same thing. World Nurses Day, right? Okay. So what is this first age or first stage? The first stage, it is infant stage. So in this infant stage, right, two things he is doing. One is mewling, weak noises, right? How a baby, how an infant it cries, right? Weak voices. And second thing it is he is vomiting always. Where? In the nurse's arm, right? So two things. What are the, in the infant stage he did two things. One is weak noises and then the vomiting. Where? In the hands of the nurses, in the arms of the nurses, right? What is the second stage? Then the winning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school. So the second stage it is schoolboy, right? As you are now know schoolboy, right? Definitely all the people, all the children especially, if you come to school, right, you will go like a snail. But if you come from school to home, you will fly like anything, you will run like anything. Yes, including myself, right? Goes to school, right, with the headedness, right, you have to go. But if I start from the school to home, right, I'll be so happy. So even a grown-up man, I feel in such a way. How you guys will behave, right? Yes, of course. You'll be, you'll go to school, right? Like how a snail goes, how a snail moves very slowly. So how he behaves in this second stage, the second stage it is the schoolboy stage. So in the schoolboy stage, how he behaves, see, three things he did. Winning schoolboy. What is the meaning of winning, right? If you have book or turn to page number 90, they have given. What is the meaning of winning? Expressing unhappiness. He goes to school unhappily. Yes, of course, everyone goes to school. What with a happy face? Never. Sometimes no. During our birthdays, we go to school happily. But all other days, if any test happens, if there are any tests in the class, definitely we'll go to school like unhappy. So how he goes to school? Unhappily, and with his satchel. What is the meaning of satchel? Right, a shoulder bag. Nowadays you are carrying, right, modern bags to the school. But when I was a small boy, I used to carry, the yellow color, gunny bag. People used to use this yellow bag for invitation purpose, right? Marriage invitation purpose, right? Those things were I used. But nowadays when I see you guys, you are carrying different, attractive bags you are carrying, right? Fine. So he is going to school unhappily. Second thing it is, he is carrying a shoulder bag and a shining morning face. So how his face looks? Very shining, happily. But in his behavior, he didn't express happiness. But his face looks, much brighter. If you see small children, right, especially for second standard or third standard children, they come to school, right, their mothers, they will decorate the face like anything. Right? They'll put a lot of makeups when they're coming to school in the morning. Right? And for some children, they'll come to school crying. You can see, that thing will be there. The tears will be there. But that's what he says. The morning time, how the children, their face looks. Their face looks so shining, brightness. But in their behavior, they are unwilling to go to school. And with this, the creeping like snail. How they are going to school? Creeping, moving very slowly, right, like a snail, they are going to school. Unwillingly to school, where they are going? And no, to the school. How? Unwillingly, right? So the first stage it is infant. The second stage it is what we call the school stage. And the third stage, Very beautiful one. Yes, of course. And then the lover, right? Matured one. Sighing like furnace with the awful ballad made to his mistress eyebrow. So this is an adolescent age. So first stage it is infant, second it is schoolboy, and next stage it is lover stage. We call it as adolescent. So during this adolescent, right, he is going behind, right, his lady love, and thinking about her, he sings lot of awful ballad. That means what? Sad songs. I think a love failure maybe, right? So lot of sad songs he sings during this adolescent age. Might be, right? Okay, fine, right. Made to his mistress eyebrow, thinking about his lady love, right? Thinking about her beauty, thinking about or all the things, right? He is singing a sad songs, right? Awful ballads. And then the next thing, it is an important stage. What is the important? Fourth stage, that it is the soldier. First stage it is infant, second thing it is schoolboy, third one it is lover, that is adolescent, and the fourth stage it is the soldier stage. So in the soldier stage, how he behaves? See, he has clearly listed out. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths. That means what? Full of complete promises. Now he is little matured. After the adolescent, right? He might have undergone a lot of pain, and now he is little bit little bit matured. So he enters to the next stage, that is the soldier stage. So in the soldier stage, how he behaves, what are things he is carrying out, right? So the first thing it is, he takes promises, strange promises, and beard like a part. What is the beard like a part? Musk. What is the meaning of musk? If you see a cat, it has hairs over like this mustache, right? That is called a musk, right? So like a leopard, he has his mustache, right? And beard like a part. Part means what? Leopard. So how his face looks? Leopard, if you see the leopard's face, it looks so vigorous. Same way, how a soldier looks? Vigorous, right? Always attentive. Same way, in the soldier stage, he behaves, right? He takes lot of strong promises, and his face, it looks like leopard, right? A leopard, like a beard, like a leopard beard. And then jealous in honor. What is the meaning of jealous in honor? What is the meaning of jealous in honor? That means what? He is going behind to seek the honor. Or I should do something so that people have to praise me, right? So he is in high need of people. He wants people to praise him, right? And then sudden and quick in quarrel. What is the meaning of sudden? Gradual. Quick in quarrel, that means what? Emotional, right? Suddenly he'll behave very violent. Suddenly he'll behave very violent. Soldiers means what? They'll be so terrific, right? In order to save their country. Same way, in this soldier stage, how he behaves? Four things. One is, what is the first one? Strong promises. Second one, his face, right? It's like a leopard, right? His beard or like a leopard. And then the third one, it is what? Right? What is the third one? Jealous in honor. He is looking or he is seeking the honor. And the fourth thing, it is emotional, sudden, violent. Okay, right? It is not a gradual, but suddenly he'll become so angry, very angry, right? Okay, fine. Seeking the bubble reputation is an important phrase. Seeking the bubble reputation is an important one mark. They used to often ask this in appreciation in public. They have asked this bubble reputation. What is the meaning of bubble? Bubble, it is an empty air, right? Bubbles, right? If you apply soap, you may get the bubbles. If the bubble blast, what will be there? Nothing will be there. Same way. So what is the exact meaning for the bubble reputation? Means it is a short time lived glory, right? In order to get the short time lived glory, he goes to such an extent, right? In order to get the fame, in order to get the popularity, in order to get the short time fame or short time lived glory, is ready to do anything. What he is ready to do? Anything, even in front of the cannon's mouth. Even he is ready to stand in front of the machine guns or the pistols. Okay, fine, right? He didn't least bother about, right, that I'm standing in front of the guns, machine guns. No, He is ready to face even the machine guns, bombs, cannons, right? In order to get the short time lived glory. See, even we guys also often we will seek for this thing, short time lived glory, bubble up reputation. That means what? People, right? I want to be praised by my surroundings. I want to be praised by my relatives. I want to be praised by my friends. I want to be praised by my siblings. So for the short time glory, we are ready to do anything. So in the soldier stage, this fellow, he is ready to stand in front of the machine guns also to get the short time lived glory. Oh, that fellow, courageous fellow, right? How many days they will speak? Only few days, that's all. After that, what everyone they'll forget. So in the soldier stage, it is an important stage in man's life, right? And what is the next fifth stage? It is complete matured stage. What is the fifth stage? It is given. See, then the justice. What is it called? Then the what is this justice? So the next stage, it is the fifth stage. In the fifth stage, it is a well matured stage. This we call it as, right, the judge. Right, he is like a judge. Okay, we will revise once again. The first stage it is infant. The second stage it is schoolboy. The stage is adolescent, or we call it as the lover stage. And the fourth one is soldier. And the fifth one is judge. Right, we will move on to the judge. And then the justice in fair round belly with good cap on land. Right, see the justice stage. In the justice stage, how he looks. How he looks? Fair round belly. Right? If you see a lot of people, when they reach the age of 35 or 40, they may have a belly. Right? Hey, don't look at me, right? Okay, fine. Right? They may have a belly. That's why up to this I have focused, right? Otherwise you may look, I know, you guys will go right there. Okay, fine. So if you see the stage, the fifth stage, he is acting like a judge, and how he appears, right, with a good belly, and how it happened, or how he got it. Eating of good, right, cap on land. That means what? Good chickens. In this stage, he eats enough. He eats very good food, nutritious food, and that leads to him to have a belly. Right? So in the fifth stage, it is a justice stage. So he has a belly. How he got it? By eating a lot of chickens. Right? Cap on land. That means chickens. With eyes severe and a beard of formal cut. Eyes, beard and formal cut. So now in the fifth stage, right, he appears, right, even his hairstyle, it comes to a correct position. Right? Not this way, right? He comes to the correct position. And his eyes severe and the beard, his eyes severe, that means whatever he sees, whatever he observes, right, he looks at certain things with a clarity. Severe means what? A clarity. Whatever he looks or whatever he observes in front of him, with the eye of clarity or with the eye of sincerity he looks. That's what it is given. Right? Eyes of severe and beard of formal cut. Right? His appearance is completely changed. Right? All full of wise saws and modern instances, full of wise saws. Whatever he says, whatever he speaks, whatever he observes, right? He uses, right, the words sayings, mean what? Wisdom. He speaks always the wisdom. He speaks always the knowledgeable words, right? And from modern instances, right, he quotes what is happening at present. With that he judges the people. Using the modern instances, what is happening now, giving examples from the contemporary, and he is judging the people. That is said to be modern instances. Right? And what is the next one? So with this, he does lot of things. As I told you in the fifth stage, how he looks. So in the fifth stage, right, he has a belly. How he got it? By eating good chickens. Right? Yes, of course, right? Chickens. And whatever he sees, he observes with a severe eye, with a clarity. Right? His observation goes, to the depth level, and he has a good formal haircut and full of wise sauce. Whatever he says or whatever he speaks, right, you can see the worthwhile. And then he quotes from the modern instances. That means what? He gives examples from what is happening now. From that, using those things, he is giving judges. He is judging the things, right? So giving or taking examples from the modern instances, and he is judging the people. This is the fifth stage, right? And then the sixth stage. Right? It is a very, very important one. Sixth stage, that everyone will come across this one, right? Well, for that. The sixth stage shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloons. So in the fifth stage, how he was, and in the sixth stage, how he becomes. So in the fifth stage, he has a very good belly. His physique, it was so good. But when he turns to the sixth stage, he becomes lean. Slippered means what? Everything become loose. Pantaloons, that means what? His outlooks, right? His shirts and pants, it becomes a very loose fitting for him. So in the fifth stage, everything fits, right? He look like a man with good physique. But when he turns to the sixth stage, everything he lost. He became so thin, became very lean, right? And his outfittings, right? His shirts and pants became, it is not fitting him much. It became very loose. Slippered pantaloon. That means what? Loose garments. It became a loose garment. With the spectacles on nose and pouch on sides, if you see some old persons, right? Some people they used to wear specs over here, and some people they'll put specs over here on the nose, not over here but nose. They look like this. Okay, the specs will be there, but they will look like this, right? Straight away. Okay, fine. So in such a way he looks. His spectacles on nose, pouch on side. That means what is the meaning of pouch? Bag, which carries money. So till fifth stage, he saved enough, right? And he saved enough money, and now he holds that money in the pouch. That means in the bag. His youthful hose will save a world too wide. His youthful, how he was, right? Everything, right? It became too wide. That means what? So whatever it fits during his fifth stage, that becomes very loose. That becomes very wide. That means what? He became very thin, right? He became very, weak. That's what it is given over here, right? So this is an important age, right? He lost everything, right? Partially he lost everything. And one more thing, for his shank and his big manly voice turning again toward a childish terrible treble pipes. His manly voice. If a man speaks, you can get the roughness. Even that also gone somewhere, right? Shank, that means what? His his physical, his body, everything, it became so thin, so narrow one, right? Very lean. And his big manly voice also gets changed. So how his voice, it is like a childish. No, even his manly voice also goes somewhere, right? That gruffness, that bass voice, it turns to soft, not soft but very mild, like a child, right? And whistles in his sound. He couldn't speak properly. The words from his mouth didn't come clearly. No clarity you can find in his voice, right? The bass voice, the manliness, the man voice, it gone somewhere, right? And what is the last stage? The last scene of all that ends his strange, eventful history. That means what? Is second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, and sans everything. So, the last seventh stage, it is called as the second childishness. The first childishness, it is mewling and puking, whereas the last or the second childishness, it is the seventh stage. How he behaves. So this is a right age, right? He sits, uncomfortably. How he behaves or how he is. What are things he lost? That is clearly listed over here. The last line, no. It is a depth or meaningful line. Sans means what? Everything lost. Nothing is there. He lost everything. What are things he lost? See, sans teeth. Yes, of course. Sans teeth means what? at the age of 90 or 95. No, it is very rare to see a person may have a teeth, right, during the age of 95 or 100 or 95, okay, fine, or 90, even 85 or 75 itself, a lot of people, they are, no, they lost their teeth. For the age of 90, 95 means, only, if you open their mouth, nothing will be visible. Even you can see the windpipe also, right? That much very clear. Right. So he lost his teeth, sans eyes. That means what? He lost his vision. He lost his eyesight. Whatever he sees, he couldn't recognize. He couldn't unable to predict. He couldn't look whatever the things he sees in front of him. And sans taste means what? He lost the sense of tasting. In the seventh stage, he lost, right, the important thing which we love, food, right? Whatever people gives, right, he will eat. That's all. He will never enjoy the food and he will eat. Something it is given, that's all. I need to satisfy my hunger. Right? He was forced or he became to such a thing. He never enjoys the food. He never enjoys eating. Rather, he simply eat. That's all. In order to satisfy his hunger. Even to have food also at the age of 90, it is very difficult. Because no teeth. To chew, we need the teeth. But if it is not, then how we will chew the food? Very difficult. Right? So maximum will go for liquid food, liquid things, right? So he lost, right? The first thing it is his teeth, then his eyes, then taste. Very, very important, taste, right? So, this is the right age for us to enjoy eating. So as much as you can eat, as much as you can enjoy, right? I am a good lover of food, right? I am a good lover of food, right? I used to enjoy the food like anything, whatever it given, right? I used to enjoy each and every, thing. I'll enjoy it. Right. Same way, he lost the taste, sans everything. Sans everything means what? Sans lost everything. That's all. His memory, right? He couldn't speak, he couldn't see, he couldn't recognize. He lost the sensitivity also. Right? The sense also he lost. So in the seventh stage, he lost everything. So how a child, how an infant behaves, right? The infant will behave, how it behaves, right? You cannot see, whatever you give, it will eat. It cannot speak. It cannot recognize who they are, right? And for few days, right? And if you see, it cannot identify or it cannot recognize nothing. But it will be cared of by its mother. Same way, in the seventh stage, we will be cared by someone. So how we came to the first stage, we will be cared by someone. Same way, in the last stage also, we will be cared by someone. Right? The sans state, that means what? He lost everything. He's remembering his history. He's remembering his how I was, what kind of life I led. So he remembers all those things, and finally, at the seventh stage, he lost everything. Nothing he remembers. Right? He is taken care by someone else. That's what. And the next one it is the exit. Exit means what? The death. Right, my dears? So these are all the things which I want to express, which I want to say through this poem. This poem, whenever I read this poem, I enjoy this poem. How he has clearly depicted, how he categorized the 7 stages of man. That is clearly visible over here. Right? So I'll revise once again from the beginning to the end. Right? Listen, my dears. So the first stage it is, right? What is the first stage? The first stage it is the infant stage. 2 things, mewling and puking. First thing it is, right? His childish voice, and second thing is vomiting on the arms of the nurses. Second thing it is the schoolboy, how he goes to school, right? Unwilling to school, right? How he appears, right? Bright, shining face, right? Carrying the shoulder bag. And third thing it is, right? Adolescent lover, right? He thinks about his lady love and he sings sad songs, maybe love failure, maybe who knows, right? And next stage it is the fourth stage. The fourth stage, what it is, right? A soldier stage. So in this age, right? Little matured, right? In order to seek the short term or short lived glory, he is ready to do anything for a short time lived glory. Even he ready to give up his life. And the fifth stage, he becomes, right, a matured one, justice. So how he looks, he has a very good belly, eating a lot of chickens, and whatever he sees or whatever he says, it has some depth meaning, and he uses modern instances for judging the people, right? And the sixth stage it is the fifth stage, it is a continuity of the sixth one. So the difference, the fifth stage, he has a very good physique. In the sixth stage, slowly, step by step, he is losing all the thing, right? And he saved enough thing for his future. And the last stage, we call it as sans. That means what? Nothing is there. He lost his teeth, he lost his eyesight, he lost his taste, and finally he lost everything. And we call this age, it is, right, the second childishness. He'll be taken care of by someone. So in the infant stage also, he'll be taken care of by someone. At the last stage also, he'll be taken care of someone. So the death as well as the birth and death will be taken care of us by someone, right? So every men and women, we have two things. One is the entrance, we call it as the birth, and the exit, we call it as the death. So between the birth and death, we have 7 stages that we need to enact it on the stage in the world, right? So hope you understood the poem. So if you have any doubt, kindly let me know with the WhatsApp text, or you can clarify with it at any time, right? So one thing I want to tell you, only few days, right? Be careful, right, my dears? So the recovery from the corona, the COVID protocol, right? It goes little down, right? So no problem, right? The first thing it is, we need to be safe first of all, right? Rectify. Remember your thing, right? So take care. See you in the next class with another subject topic, right? See you guys. Good night.